Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, arson at play. Police say a fire that destroyed a school playground was purposely set. Weed whackers, why a harmless-looking plant found around Edmonton may be deadly for dogs. And pierogi party, why a Ukrainian cafe is hosting daytime dance raves.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A fire that destroyed a playground in northwest Edmonton over the weekend is being called arson. Police are now asking for help with their investigation. CTV's Nav Sangha joins us from outside St. Pius Catholic School, where the playground went up in flames Saturday. So, Nav, you spoke with some people in the area about this latest arson development. What did they have to say?
Well, Matt, everyone I talked to simply cannot understand why anyone would do this. As you can see, the playground equipment is unusable and has been fenced off. Police say the playground was lit on fire around 8 a.m. Saturday. They're looking for multiple people who they believe started the fire, as well as multiple witnesses who were at the scene. The estimated damage is still unclear, but police say the fire did not spread to the school. Police are asking the public for dash cam or security camera footage. Staff Sergeant Eric Stewart says in his over 20 years of policing, he's never had to investigate an arson that has destroyed a children's playground.
This was a very careless and reckless act by the individuals involved in this event. We are very fortunate that this school did not catch fire. It was very close proximity to this playground. It's a very unfortunate set of circumstances that now the kids that attend this school and all the community members that put effort into putting this playground up don't have the playground.
The school's parent association says the playground cost more than $600,000 after fundraising for nearly a decade. Now, the Sherwood Community League and the parent association has set up an online fundraiser aiming to raise around $50,000 to help rebuild the playground. The Parents Association says if insurance ends up covering the damages, the money could go towards expanding the playground. Matt?
All right, Nav Sangha live outside of St. Pius Catholic School. Thank you. The first local edition of the province's Alberta Next panel is about to begin on the east side of Edmonton. CTV's Connor Hogg is at the Edmonton Hotel and Convention Centre, where the doors have just opened for tonight's panel. So, Connor, what are you hearing from people who are showing up?
Well, Matt, in just the last hour that I've been here, I've had the opportunity to speak to people on both sides of the big issues. The one thing that unites them is a desire for clarity from the provincial government on exactly what is going to be done on those issues. Now, this is the second of these panels that the provincial government says will allow Albertans to share their ideas and concerns directly with Premier Danielle Smith and others.
I don't understand why we're still talking about this when the vast majority of Albertans said they did not want an Alberta pension plan.
It is time to put the separation question on a ballot so that Alberta people can decide.
The issue of separation came up at last night's panel in Red Deer, even though it is not on the approved list of topics. Those that are on the agenda include an Alberta pension plan, a provincial police force, and the province's sovereignty within a united Canada. I spoke to some of the people coming to tonight's panel to see what they were interested in talking about. Are you in favor of such a plan?
It depends on what the alternatives were. If it was maybe for us to just separate NBBC, Saskatchewan, Alberta, maybe become the 51st state, no. Never. Not happening.
I'm a little bit concerned, to put it mildly, about the degree to which we're, having these conversations about our relationship with Ottawa and how that impacts, the potential for investors.
In custody and serve the time that they deserve.
More of these panels will be taking place in August, another in Edmonton and others in Fort McMurray and Lloydminster. If you're interested in attending any of those, online registration opens 2 weeks before the panel night. Now, the province says that there will be referendum questions posed to Alberta voters next year, and the ideas and concerns that are shared in meetings like the one happening tonight will inform exactly what those questions are. Matt?
All right, CTV's Connor Hogg outside of the Edmonton Hotel and Convention Centre tonight. Thank you. Current city councillor and mayoral hopeful Tim Cartmill is apologizing after missing a vote on infill last week. City council had been debating whether to reduce the maximum size of mid-block developments from 8 to 6. Cartmill said he supported the idea, but with the debate spilling into summer recess, he was not present for the vote due to vacation plans. In a statement today, Cartmill says his family deliberately picked an East Coast getaway with no connectivity to spend quality time together before the final months of the municipal election campaign. He says he tried to connect virtually but was unable to. In a statement, Cartmill apologized, saying people were counting on him to be in council chambers and he let them down. In a 6-5 vote, council decided to revisit the issue later after more consultation. Edmonton will be the future home to a new spa overlooking the river valley. The Scandinave Group has chosen Edmonton for its newest location. The company applied for rezoning of an area in Brander Gardens last fall and received approval a few months ago. The Scandinave is a thermal spa with 4 locations in places like Whistler and Old Montreal. Edmonton will be its first Alberta location.
We're looking to expand in vibrant, growing communities, and that's exactly what Edmonton is for us. And Edmonton has a deep appreciation for wellness and outdoor living, and we saw a strong demand for spaces where people can unplug, recharge, reconnect with themselves. So for us, it all made sense.
The company's CEO says their project is also financially supported by the Alberta government and Edmonton Global. The next steps include designs and permitting. Le Scandinave Spa is set to open in the summer of 2028. The Ritchie Community League is looking to the past to raise money for a future project. The league wants to build a new community hall to replace its current space, which requires an extensive renovation. The new hall will cost $5.8 million. The league has a grant for most of it, but needs help from Edmontonians to fill the gap. One way people can help is by purchasing community bonds. Similar to war bonds, they act as a loan to the league.
Back in 1964, when this hall was built, they used this community bond idea to build a hall initially, and we have copies of some of those old bonds. When people invest in their community in a tangible way, then they're more apt to take advantage of the services, to join, to actually come and gather, enjoy the space, celebrate the space.
Other ways to help out include naming rights, donor recognition on a local mural, and features like commemorative bricks and benches. The league says the current hall will remain open until the new one is built. The timeline for when work could begin is still being determined. The St. Albert Fire Service is showing off its newest piece of equipment.
What'd you think?
It was really fun, a little windy up there, but great view of the city.
St. Albert Mayor Kathy Heron got a bird's eye view of her city today while taking a ride in the Tower Truck's bucket on top of the 30-meter ladder. This is St. Albert's second fire tower truck. The fire chief says it was necessary to purchase in order to protect the growing city.
We're now around 74,000 people, and not only are we growing out, but we're also growing up. And as you mentioned, there are concrete structures going up, which will be in excess of 10 stories, as well as a lot of 4-, 5-, and 6-story walk-up structures as well.
The truck will be used for the next 20 years. The chief estimates it will be in service starting at the end of August once his firefighters receive the proper training. Well, Josh, I wish daytime highs around here would reach as high as that ladder truck. It's been a little on the cooler side.
And that's not going to change anytime soon. Temperatures are going to stay low to mid-20s. It looks like for the next 5 to 10 days, maybe right through to the end of the month. 22 downtown Edmonton right now after hitting 23 for a daytime high earlier today. You got a 20 here in Elk Island and at Stony Plain. And it has been a little breezy as well as hazy in the Edmonton area. You had a bit of wildfire smoke. We talked about this yesterday. Drifted in from the southeast. Wasn't all that noticeable as you walked around at ground level, but air quality health index did climb to about a 5, which would put us in the moderate risk range. Temperatures climbed to 23, so just slightly below average. 13 degrees in the city early this morning. Should be in the same ballpark for a high and a low tomorrow. We'll get to that forecast in a moment. First, no, we don't have drone. I don't know how many times My producers have told me I don't have drone today, but we'll show you the satellite and radar map instead. There's your cloud cover through the Edmonton region. Sun's been kind of breaking through it from time to time. So we said there was a little bit of haze. I think that sticks around through the first half of the day tomorrow and then pushes north. Here off to the west, we've got some scattered showers and some thunderstorms, especially around Hinton and off to the north. Starting to see a few lightning strikes at the southern edge of that band of precipitation as well. All of this will miss the Edmonton area tonight. It's all going to slide off to the south and southeast. So just mostly to partly cloudy skies through the overnight period. 12 degrees tomorrow morning, and then a mixed sun and cloud, about 23 or 24 for a high tomorrow afternoon. And the wind should calm down in a big way. Rain in the forecast for the weekend. We'll give you a rough idea of a timeline on that precipitation in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, avoiding foxtails, why these harmless-looking weeds can be dangerous for your pets.
It almost acts like a quill or a porcupine quill.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y. By James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Foxtail grass can be harmful and in some cases deadly to pets. It can be found all over Edmonton, including dog parks, which has some pet owners calling for the city to take steps to manage it. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
Beverly Breen brings her dogs to Terwillegar Park twice a day. Lately, she's on high alert because of a weed growing around the parking area.
I know it's very detrimental to dogs.
Foxtail grass can be found all over the province every summer.
And why it gets to be a concern is because it almost acts like a quill or a porcupine quill. So it has little barbs on it that get caught in the skin.
Veterinarian Dr. Vicki Jane says it can then burrow under the skin.
They can cause abscesses, they can migrate, they're very irritating and painful.
Well, as my dog is approaching it right now, I'm definitely keeping an eye on him. So yeah, I would keep it away if it's known to do that to dogs.
Kelsey Hudson had no idea the risk foxtail grass poses.
Well, I'll be looking around for more for sure, and it does stand out. It's pretty, so hopefully I'll notice it and make sure my dog stays away.
Dr. Janes treats a couple of dogs each summer. Where it becomes a real problem is when inhaled or ingested.
Because of that little barb and the ability to migrate, they can end up in internal organs. So they can end up in the lungs, they can end up inside the gut or migrate through the gut and cause some major illnesses, potentially even fatal illnesses.
After an outing, people should check for any spurs in their pet's fur, skin, or pads of their feet. Dr. Jane says they're usually big enough to see and can be pulled out. There are other signs to watch for.
Say if they're in their mouth, we can see that they might have some drooling. If they get up in the nose, we can have some sneezing or some nasal discharge. Primarily depends on the location, but if they're in and around the feet or places like that, most of the time licking will be what we see.
Some would like to see the city manage the harmful weed.
Yeah, especially down here for the dogs, 100%. 100%.
Until then, some dog owners are taking it upon themselves to make Terwillegar Park a little safer. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
And the city says because foxtail is native to Alberta, it's not treated as an invasive species. The city says it does mow the Terwillegar Park and surrounding area up to 5 times a year in order to control weeds. 200 townhouses in the north central Woodcroft neighborhood will eventually be replaced with upwards of 700 new homes. Construction has begun on a project called Brentwood Builds. Describing it as an ambitious effort, the city says it will provide homes for people in all stages of life. 1/3 of the build will be dedicated to affordable housing. That means they must be rented at 80% of the average monthly rental rate or lower. Still to come tonight on CTV News, Red Deer feeling the love as the Amazing Race Canada runs through the city.
For Red Deer to become part of that first episode, a tremendous sense of excitement, a lot of pride.
Programming brought to you by Federated Co-ops. Find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
Red Deer is celebrating a moment in the spotlight. The Amazing Race Canada stopped there for the first time, with the episode airing last week. Teams visited the Canyon Ski Resort to ride the Canyon Coaster and made a visit to the Silver Buckle Country Bar for a line dancing lesson.
For Red Deer to become part of that first episode, a tremendous sense of excitement, a lot of pride, to say the very least, that we could be on the big screen on such a great show.
Lake Louise was featured in last night's episode. There are 2 Alberta teams this season. The Amazing Race Canada airs on CTV every Tuesday. Surprised to see they weren't making donuts at the donut mill or something like that. That was the first thing I guessed when they said they were headed to Red Deer. I would have loved it anyway.
Staple.
Absolutely.
Take a look.
Weather.
I'll tell you.
Threw you off with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I got nothing. It's the Action Furnace River Valley Sky Cab. Action Furnace, fixed right here, it's free. 22 degrees. You can see a little bit of haze there hanging over downtown. It was a little more noticeable if you were sort of driving from an elevated vantage point and looking at downtown. 25 degrees in Fort McMurray, 26 in Grand Prairie. Right now it's 19 to the south in Red Deer. This was from early this afternoon. So smoke from wildfires in Saskatchewan drifted through eastern Alberta all the way. It was really rough last night and early this morning in through southeastern Alberta. You can see they were still in the moderate range for air quality health index. 5s and 4s around the Edmonton area. Here's this afternoon. Conditions have not really improved in Edmonton, but they have gotten dramatically better there in the southeast corner of the province. And this will continue to lift this thickest smoke off to the north and northeast as we head through the next 24 hours. So for the rest of tonight and early tomorrow morning, it's not going to change all that much through the Edmonton area. You're probably still looking at about 5 on the air quality health index. There's tomorrow afternoon. It starts to break down a little bit late in the day. And by Friday, should be off to the north and northeast. Worst the air quality. I mean, anywhere in North America is in Saskatchewan, closer to all of those fires. Northeastern Alberta looks like late Friday, you'll get into some fairly thick plumes of smoke as well. Showers and thunderstorms popping up in through the foothills. We actually have a new thunderstorm right there, but that looks like it's going to track back to the west as opposed to giving some rain to the Peace River region. Grand Prairie as well, you're missing out on this precipitation. The showers and thunderstorms are all developing south of you. I think some of this might sneak through the Red Deer region as we head through the evening or the overnight period. Tomorrow morning, Red Deer's kind of on the northern edge of those scattered showers. Some steadier pockets of rain further to the south. The Edmonton areas to the north looks pretty dry overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. In fact, sunny skies tomorrow morning across most of the north here in Edmonton. And it'll be a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. And late in the afternoon, there's a couple of scattered showers or thunderstorms that pop up there in central or north central Alberta. It'll be really hit and miss in and around Edmonton. Watch what happens Friday. Increasing cloud through the afternoon hours, showers and thunderstorms with another low pressure system. But again, Friday afternoon, they're way off to the west of us. I think early Saturday morning, though, we might see some rain off of that system. 8 degrees in Fort McMurray, 10 in Grand Prairie and Red Deer tomorrow morning, about 12 here in Edmonton. 25 to 27 range from Cold Lake north to Fort McMurray, close to 30 in high level with some sunshine across the northwest, about 20 for a daytime high in the Red Deer area. Here in Edmonton, we'll be around 20 degrees 9 p.m., dropping to 12 degrees tomorrow morning. Light wind tomorrow and a mix of sun and cloud with a high of around 24 degrees. 25 on Friday. Then Saturday, the best chances for rain are going to be early in the morning and then again in the evening. And then late Sunday, you might see some scattered showers. So it will be a cool weekend and a cloudy weekend, but I don't think it's raining nonstop both days.
Thank you. The Edmonton Oilers' schedule for next season is now out for the first time since 2017. The Oilers begin their year with the Battle of Alberta. The Oilers open their season against the Calgary Flames at Rogers Place on October 8th. The provincial rivals will square off 4 times next season. The Oilers then wrap up their regular season with a visit from the Vancouver Canucks on April 16th. The team's entire schedule is available on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. When we return, dance the day away while a Ukrainian cafe is hosting parties earlier than usual.
I feel very energetic. Usually I'm not like going to parties, but this is my party.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Program Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, we'll hear from City Councillor Tim Cartmill about why he's apologizing now for missing a vote last week on Edmonton infill and celebrating 75 years of rat-free status, the efforts to keep rats out of Alberta since 1950. Those stories and much more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. The Lion King musical has been playing to sold-out crowds in Edmonton for the past couple of days. The Broadway Across Canada show is also a visual treat with human transformations and lifelike puppets. We had a chance to go backstage with the people behind the puppetry. Drew Hirschfield plays Zazu. He says the preparation for the role was intense.
To really get a sophisticated level of mastery, I would say it took a year or so of me in the role, exploring, getting feedback from our artistic team, and also spending time in front of, believe it or not, a mirror, so I can get a sense of how the movement of the puppet is bringing the puppet to life.
Lion King is such a huge production. We travel with 17 semi-trucks. 1.5 of those is just the puppets, 230 puppets. So we have everything from as small as a mouse to as big as a full-size elephant.
The Lion King runs through July 25th at the Jube. A Ukrainian cafe on Jasper Avenue is hosting daytime dance parties aiming to showcase Ukrainian culture in a unique setting. CTV's Merrick Takash has more.
A pierogi spinning beats on one side of the cafe, staff serving Ukrainian dishes on the other.
I feel very energetic. Usually I'm not like going to parties, but this is my party.
Like most of the staff at Danya Kitchen, Sofia Stolarenka was born in Ukraine. She moved to Canada last February after Russia's invasion of her country.
All of our staff have connections back in Europe, back in Ukraine, and so they were showing us these parties with like music and DJs, and today we've got our pierogi DJ to add the Danya flair.
This is Danya's first dance party, an idea inspired by morning coffee shop raves in Ukraine.
They do it like almost like every week in Kyiv now, even with like all the news that's happening, so they try to kind of like live their life on and trying to like boost people's mood, because like of course it's hard to live with everything that's happening and with the war.
Organizers hope to attract downtown workers for a different lunch break experience.
It just has to pick up like some time to like adjust for like people, you know, like sometimes it's hard when it's something new, like people never seen it before.
Danya's dance parties are scheduled for 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. every Wednesday.
Sometimes we get caught up in everything that's going on and all the work and all the stress, and like what better way than to just music it out. Yeah.
Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's our show. Thanks for watching.